Setting up the Beacn mic and Beacn Mix Create advanced mixing in OBS is actually really simple. In this video, I'm going to show you how to do that and also walk you through some troubleshooting steps to make sure that everything is up and running for you as quickly and easily as possible. One thing to note is I am using OBS version 28, but the controls and buttons are 100% the same. Even in Streamlabs OBS or Stream Elements, the icons might look a little bit different, but all the menus are the same as well. So the first thing that we're going to do is we're going to hop into OBS and we are going to set up our default devices. To do that, we go to File, Settings, Audio, and in Mic Auxiliary 1, we set it to our audience mix. Make sure that everything else is disabled here and click apply. If you are setting up OBS brand new, like a brand new scene collection, this is all you have to do and you're done. But if you want to do more with like using our VOD track, or if you're transferring over from a previous scene selection and you're running into some issues, stay tuned because I'm going to show you how to set up the rest of that. So now that we've set up the audience mix, we're going to talk about the VOD track. So what the VOD track allows you to do is to have a separate audio track just for your VODs and clips on Twitch. This is really great because some music only has streaming rights but not on-demand rights, and you can also remove other sources. Like a lot of creators don't want their alert sounds coming through in their VODs and clips, so that way it's easier to transfer over to TikTok and YouTube Shorts and other places like that, because sometimes those alerts can get really loud, or like you have jump scare alerts that make sense for a live audience but maybe not an on-demand audience. So to set up the VOD track, what we're going to do is we're going to go down to Mic Auxiliary Audio 2, and we're going to add VOD track and hit apply. You should now be seeing two different devices in your audio mixer. Before we go any further, let's hop to the output menu, and we are going to enable the Twitch VOD track right here and set it to track 2. So audio track should be on 1 and Twitch VOD track should be on 2. And we're going to hit apply and hit OK. Just a little pro tip here, I do recommend renaming these sources. So Mic Aux, let's rename it to Audience Mix. Very creative. And for the other one, VOD track. Now you know exactly which track is which. It makes organization a little bit easier, especially if you're a streamer that has a lot of different audio sources on a lot of different scenes. It's nice to keep these two nice and organized. So we've told OBS that we're going to be using the Twitch VOD track and audience mix, but we haven't told them which one is actually going to be sent to which channel on Twitch. So what we're going to do is we're going to hop into this little hamburger icon here. It might be a cogwheel if you're using an older version of OBS. And you're going to hop down to Advanced Audio Properties. From here, make sure that your volume is set to 0 dB. You're not streaming in mono. You're not doing anything with balance. Your sync offset is set to 0, and that your audio monitoring is turned to off. From there, disable everything on all of these tracks so that there's nothing coming through at all. And then what we're going to do is we're going to enable audience mix on track 1 and VOD track on track 2. Those are the exact settings that we just set up before in the OBS output settings. And we are going to now hit OK. Next time you go live, you will now have both tracks of audio being sent, one to your VOD track and one to your live audience mix. Really easy, straightforward, and you can set it and forget it. That's how you set up your Beacn products with OBS, but that doesn't mean that we're necessarily done, because you might be setting up from a previous scene selection and something might not be right. So I'm going to go through a few settings and places to check if something just isn't quite going as smoothly as this video made it look. So the most popular troubleshooting question we get is that my audio doesn't sound as good as it does in my headphones. The audio audio might be cutting out or clipping. And this is usually because you have residual filters left over from your previous scenes. So to remove those, go click on the little 3-dot icon or cogwheel and go down to filters. And here you can see, oops, I still have a noise gate. So when I get really quiet, it's sometimes cutting out for my audience mix. So what we're going to do is we're going to just disable it, or better yet, just remove the filter completely. Make sure to check that for all of your audio sources. If you need certain OBS filters, there are workarounds using programs like Equalizer APO, but you don't want to add those filters to your entire audience mix because of exactly what was happening to my audio, and that it was cutting in and out, and I was getting inconsistent audio on my audience mix. The next thing you want to do is make sure that you're not having any duplicate audio sources. So what we do to check that is down here, there's a little hamburger icon. Again, it's probably a cogwheel if you're using an older version, and there's an unhide all option. This option also exists on the cogwheel on any source as well, so you can hit unhide all. If you're seeing other sources show up here and you're dealing with duplicate audio or underwatery sounding audio, chances are the audio is being sent twice and you want to mute the non-audience mix and VOD track version. The last question that we get is, how do I remove audio sources? So for example, let's say I want to send my voice chat to my stream, but I don't want to send my Discord to my stream. So I don't want I'm playing World of Warcraft and I have a really cranky raid leader that doesn't add anything to my stream personally. To do that, I go into the Beacn app, I go to the routing table tab, and underneath chat, or wherever you have that chat audio playing, just uncheck it in the audience mix, and it will stop coming through to the audience mix here in OBS. Now, there is a little unintuitive interaction here that we're going to be presenting in or fixing in a more recent build, but the audience mix controls what also is being sent to the VOD track. In other words, if you're not sending an audio source to the audience mix, you cannot send it to the VOD track. We found in beta that the audience mix, like this, I had muted my raid leader for my audience mix, so my live stream is fine. But if you went back and listened to my VOD, they could still hear my raid chat and my raid leader. That's not a very intuitive interaction, so we're going to be adding a UI element here to make that more obvious. But just know that if it's not going to your audience mix, even if it's checked in your VOD track, it will not be transmitted to your VOD track, your clip track on Twitch or anywhere else. And that's it. Setting up your Beacn products in OBS is pretty straightforward, and the troubleshooting steps are generally simple enough. But if you did not get all of your questions answered in this video, please don't hesitate to reach out to us at support.beacn.com if you prefer creating a ticket and working with us over email, or hop over to our Discord server at beacn.gg/discord, and we'd be happy to help you there as well. We'll see you next time for another helpful, hopefully, tutorial.